Oh, now, this is a story all about how local soccer media got flipped, turned upside down. And we like to take a minute, so grab a beer so cold, and we'll tell you how we became electric gold. In White House, Tennessee, born and raised on the soccer fields was where we spent most of our days. Reading Mad Magazine and riding our bikes with a known propensity for rocking the mic. Now we're a trio of guys who are getting kinda old, cheering on the boys and gold with every bit of our soul. Screaming our heads off while drinking some beers, hoping to give Cincy and Miami something to fear. Now Evan, John and Ryan are kicking the facts about Nashville SC, and they'll never come whack. If anything, we can say the show is rare. Acoustic blue and electric gold, the only colors we wear. We pull up the Doties about 7:38, and we yell to the refs, yo home, smell you later. We look at the castle, we feeling so bold. We sit on our thrones, we're electric gold.
Are you entertained?
Electric gold.
Nashville SC 2.0 is unleashed. And guys, I just want to be the first to welcome Sam Surridge to the 2025 season. Sam, we're glad to have you. We've been expecting you. Folks, this is Electric Gold. I'm Ryan. I'm here with John and Evan. And this weekend, we just witnessed the greatest Nashville SC game in the club's history. And you're about to witness the greatest podcast episode in Electric Gold's history. Boys, how are you feeling tonight?
On top of the world.
Never better. Never better.
There were many episodes ago where John was saying he could not be any better, like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, flush that shit down the toilet.
Who knew that this team could climb to such heights? We're going to get into all of it. We're going to revel in the joy that was this weekend. Before we do that, guys, let's just quickly talk about what beers we're drinking tonight. We've got to celebrate. John, what do you have in this evening?
Yeah, I am drinking get this. This is a grape fizz ale from New Belgium Brewing Company from Colorado. They are known for their Voodoo Rangers, their crazy IPA type beers. But this is a purple beer inspired by the popular grape sodas of the 1990s. You know, the ones that came in bright cans and poured even brighter in the glass. So I'm going to straight up tell you, this stuff, when you smell it, it smells like Jolly Ranchers.
Ooh.
But it doesn't It doesn't taste quite like Jolly Ranchers. It tastes like a fruited sour beer. And New Belgium, I will have to say, is describing the release as a grown-up version of juice boxes.
Oh,
and
wow.
This it's got a base of Concord grape juice. There's a little bit of lime to it too. It tastes just like a really good fruited sour beer. I promise you, if you like grape juice of any sort or grape soda, you'll like a grape fizz ale from New Belgium. It's really good.
I'll take your word for it. Real quick, both of you guys. We're talking about grape sodas.
Yeah.
Fanta or Welch's? John, which man are you?
Welch's.
Yeah, you can only be one.
Yeah.
Evan, are you a Fanta man or are you a Welch's man?
I am proudly a Fanta man.
Oh, wow.
This is
okay.
war.
So
War has been declared.
our first disagreement of the night. Evan, what are you drinking this evening?
Well, I'm also drinking a New Belgium beer. I'm having their Fat Tire Ale. Of course, this is a quintessential American amber ale. It's just got that perfect balance between the sweetness of the malted barley and the crisp bitterness of the hops. You know, it's just timeless, but also forward thinking. Did you guys know that the Fat Tire Ale is our nation's first certified carbon neutral beer?
Wow.
I did not know that.
I did not.
Isn't that awesome?
It is. That's incredible.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
Anyway, that's what I'm enjoying tonight, boys.
Good job, Fat Tire. I am having also a fruited sour this evening, John. I am having Flamingo Road from Bearded Irish Brewery here in Nashville, over on Van Buren Street in Germantown. Flamingo Road is, as they describe it, intriguingly tart, refreshingly fruited, a meandering path through strawberries and raspberries just for you. So it's got a hue of maybe like a little bit of that strawberries coming through, a little bit of a red tint to it. Delicious beer for a delicious evening. Let's celebrate, boys. 7 goals in 1 game. What the hell?
Yeah!
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Usually we can review is just sort of like a routine thing for me. And I'm just like, yeah, let me get through this. I couldn't be more excited to do a week in review than this time around.
I want every detail. I want every salacious detail.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'll try and cover it all if I can. This is the week in review. Nashville SC returned home to Geodis Park this past weekend to host the Chicago Fire, an opponent who NSC has enjoyed considerable success against historically. As it turned out, those other games were just the warm-up as Nashville put on their most dazzling offensive display in the team's history. A couple of lineup changes proved interesting as the game progressed. Eddie Tagseth and Patrick Yazbek started in the midfield this game, while the turnover-prone Gaston Brugman remained on the bench, and Jacob Shaffelburg got his first start of the season over the team's highlight offseason acquisition, Ahmed Qasim. Shaffelburg made the most of this opportunity, consistently putting pressure on Chicago's defense. Meanwhile, it appears Sam Surridge is now the team's penalty kick specialist, as he took the first one in the 14th minute and drove it home right down the middle of the goal. And then in the 22nd minute, a Hani Mukhtar corner kick was placed perfectly for a Jason Palacios header to put the team up 2-0. All's well, right? But wait, there's more. Hani Mukhtar received a perfect cross from Shaffelburg in front of the goal that he lightly tapped in for a third score. And then he followed things up by taking an impressive Andy Nahar pass from the right side and converting that into a fourth goal. We're still in the first half. All the Nashville scoring had Chicago on their heels, and so the visitors made a flurry of substitutes before the end of the first half to stop the bleeding. But guys, this patient was bleeding out. Sam Surridge earned another penalty kick at extra time of the first half, and once again, he placed the ball in the center of the goal, allowing Nashville to take a 5-0 lead into halftime. It's the first time Nashville has ever scored 5 goals in one half, and there's a lot more history to make in the second half. In just the 50th minute, Andy Nahar once again lobbed a perfect pass over the top of the defense to a hard-charging Sam Surridge, who scored for a hat trick and a 6-0 lead, the most goals the team has ever scored in one game. Until 7 minutes later, when the exact same play happened again. Nahar executed the exact same pass, got to Sam Surridge, and got the same exact result. So he beat the Chicago defense and scored. Nashville SC was up 7-0, the most goals they've ever scored in a single match, and Surridge's 4 goals are the most by any NSC player in a single match. After that, BJ Callahan began swapping out many of the starters to give them a well-deserved rest, and the boys in gold took their foot off the gas. Chicago scored 2 meaningless goals late in the half. It did nothing to tarnish one of the most dominant performances in the history of the MLS. As a result of their excellent play, Sam Surridge, Hani Mukhtar, and Andy Nahar were all named to the team of the match day. BJ Callahan was named as the team of match day coach. Nahar is the first player in club history to record 3 primary assists in one game. Sam Surridge was heralded as the player of match day for the week, and he is now tied for second in the crowded Golden Boot race as well. Nashville solidified their spot in 6th place in the East with a goal differential of +6 now, while Chicago slipped to 11th place in the East, sporting a goal differential of -4. Boys, what the hell did we watch this weekend? What just happened? What's your reaction, Evan?
Well, this is Nashville 2.0, so I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get the clean sheet. No. Of course I'm not. I'm kidding. Guys, I am feeling nothing but elation. I mean, this was the best thing I've ever seen. I was just grinning from ear to ear throughout the whole match. I just almost couldn't believe it. I loved our group chat banter. It was just so much fun, and I'm elated. I'm lost for words otherwise. It just was so fantastic.
Pinch my ass because I am dreaming. This was incredible. We played so well. Boys, we could have gotten more than 7. We were incredible. Like, just so good for attack. just so dominant. They didn't deserve to be in the same league as us. God, I can't wait for the next game. This is the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is awesome.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm also glad that it happened against Chicago, not a team that's like a cellar dweller. They're in the middle of the pack. They've had a decent run this year so far. They were 8th place going into this game. They're 11th now. So, yeah, they're not the best team in the league by any means, but they're no scrubs either. I mean, they've managed to get some wins. They've got 3 wins so far this season. They've got 3 draws as well. And they've actually performed better on the road than at home. They haven't won once at home. All of their wins have been on the road.
Yeah.
So this is not a team that was just a pushover.
Right.
And yet we made them look like one.
Exactly.
And it was just... wow, what a sight to behold. And of course, there's been a lot of grumbling about our designated players this season. Our forwards are finishing. Last week, we talked about it here. We had a fan write in about how frustrated they were with the designated players, and we agreed with them. We said, yeah, they suck. They've been sucking. But boy, did that lid get lifted off of them in this game. Surridge with 4 goals.
Yeah.
And since he's joined the team, he has 5 games where he has scored multiple goals. In that amount of time in the MLS, I think there's only 5 players that have done that. So he's one of them, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
We could just talk about all the accolades and history with this game. It was amazing. It was amazing to see. I'm still reeling and basking in the afterglow. It's been amazing to just play it in my head and think about it over and over again. It's been amazing. In that spirit, normally we do all hell yeah and all hell no, but we're not going to do anything negative tonight. In fact, we're going to double down on the all hell yes. This is the most all hell yes that will ever happen in a podcast. Just like in honor of 4 Sam Surridge goals, we're going to have 4 all hell yes.
Yes.
Let's do it. This is all hell yeah. We'll start with you. What is your first all hell yeah?
Yeah, my first one goes to Super Sam. I mean, he set the club record for most goals in a game. He was named player of the match day for the league, and he was just on fire. The response from disappointing outings here recently was incredible to see. I don't know if it had more to do with Chicago or if it was something a little bit more deliberate on the part of Sam or Coach Callahan. But you noticed, I bet, that Sam was not drifting all around the pitch, sometimes, even way back in defense at all. He was just up there. He was just like we had hoped and wanted him to do, to stay up, be a threat, and when he gets the opportunity, capitalize. Put a bulge in the old onion bag, and boy, did he ever. It was perfect. Just do that. Stay up there, be a threat, and you will get your double-digit goals. You could even be in the Golden Boot race throughout the season. Do it, Sam. Go for it, buddy.
Yep.
All hell yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Absolutely deserving of that first all hell yeah. John, what's your first all hell yeah?
My first all hell yeah is going to be to the only man who has ever won an MVP for a Tennessee-based professional sports team. Fuck yeah, Hani Mukhtar.
Hell yeah.
What a game he played. He scored 2 goals, and he's the second fiddle to Sam. But Hani was incredible. Incredible Saturday night. Hooking up everything, making everything happen. He got 2 of the goals himself. It feels like that's an afterthought because he was in the middle of everything. There's going to be at least 2 more hell yeahs. There's a trio on that right side that he was a part of that was destroying the Chicago Fire. And Hani Mukhtar was pulling the strings. If he was still taking penalties and making them, maybe he was the guy who scored 4 goals Saturday night. At any rate, Hani Mukhtar is looking like 2022 Hani Mukhtar. I'm going to straight up say it. I know the Apple TV guys were saying it too. He's missed 2 penalty kicks this season. He had another really close to goal opportunity he missed. He's so close to being exactly 2022 Hani Mukhtar stats. I was just like, oh, hell yeah, Hani. Bringing the pain, bringing the funk. He's my hero in life, and I could not get enough of it. I love you, Hani Mukhtar. Keep playing this way and keep proving the naysayers wrong, man, because that was awesome.
We like to throw around the XG stat a lot. Yeah. A lot of soccer nerds do. XG stands for expected goals, and usually a pretty good measure of your offensive prowess. And maybe it doesn't necessarily line up with your actual goals, your actual conversions, but in terms of chances, great chances that you're getting, it's a pretty good metric. Hani's 4th in the league right now. He's behind Benteke, Kuipers, how do you pronounce his name? Who scored Chicago. One of the Chicago goals. And then 3rd place would be a guy you might know. His name's Sam Surridge. Yeah. So Nashville has the 3rd and 4th place XG players in the league right now.
And where is he at on the list of chances created? I guarantee he's in the top 5, if not number 1. I don't have the stats offhand because, I'm not a professional podcaster or anything. But he's got to be up there. He's been creating chances all season for other players.
Yeah, damn it. If I wish I had known, I would have prepared that for you, but I don't have that.
We're going to go with feelings rather than stats.
He's also top 10 in key passes.
There you go.
In the league. So that's probably a good indicator as well. And shot on target scoring attempts.
Yeah.
He's 2nd in the league.
Yeah.
He's got 19. Benteke has 21 and Surridge has 18. So he's 3rd in the league. So this duo.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah. What a difference one game can make. I guess when you score 7 goals, that's what happens. So it's pretty amazing.
I think they were both on the verge of this. I think they've both been so close this season.
Right.
I know last week we were saying they weren't playing that well, but I sometimes you're getting the chances and they're just not going in. And we can say, that's their job. They're supposed to be putting in those chances. Sometimes it just didn't happen. I remember a guy named Diego Forlan. You guys remember Diego Forlan?
I remember that name.
He was an Uruguayan player. He came to Manchester United at one point, and he had a ton of good chances. Our buddy, Captain Liam, I'm sure is going to remember. The ball would just not go in the net for him. And Man U ended up selling him, and he went to Villarreal in the Spanish league, lit up the league. Because all of a sudden those chances that were coming so close started going in. If you're in the right place, eventually things are going to happen for you. And I think those two guys, they're often doing the right things.
Gosh, I don't want to be negative, but I stand behind my criticism of Hani's falling down a lot and being muscled off of the ball a lot. That's still something I think we have to keep our eye on. But when he's this version of just being a playmaker, like, Evan, that's something that you've been saying this season is Hani needs to be playmaking, not so worried about scoring, just making plays happen. Yeah. And when he's just in the center of it all, of the tornado, the eye of the storm, making it happen, he is amazing. And that's what we want to see from him. But get the ball, move it quickly, make a decision quickly. Don't play around with it and get muscled off of the ball. Give them a chance to push you over.
Right.
And this evening, Saturday night, he absolutely did all the right things.
Yeah, he's heating up at the right time. So now with Saturday night's performance, he now has the most goal contributions he's ever had for us through 10 matches. That was 2 goals and an assist on Saturday night. That's the playmaker there. So he's actually now really heating up. So look out, MLS.
Love it. All right, let's keep moving. Evan, what's your second hell yeah for this week?
My goodness. Nahar's incredible offensive contribution to this match. 3 assists, of course, and just beautiful assists. But all throughout the match, just so many great touches and passes up the wing, working with Shaffelburg, just connecting and I remember one time, I think he got a ball played to him. It was a tough ball to get. He ends up maybe like bringing it down over his shoulder with the sweetest touch right on the sideline that I think I've ever seen. And there were some beautiful 1-2s in there. It was just incredible play, incredible contribution to the offense. Oh, hell yeah. Keep it up, buddy. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Can't agree more. I think he's the best signing. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because tag Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close.
Let me put the brakes on that one. Tag Seth has been probably the most impactful signing, but man, Nahar is a close second. Nahar has been doing this all season long, getting involved in the offensive attack. And that right side, as you mentioned, John, it's a deadly side for any opponent in the MLS. I don't care who you are. And then when we sprinkle a little bit of old Mr. Shaffelburg in there, now you're really talking. This is just, it's exciting to see. I mean, we're just gushing at this point. John, what's your all hell yeah?
Oh, who should I think of with a fourth all hell yeah? Maybe. Oh, Canada. Our sweet Canadian goose in his first start of the season, Jacob fucking Shaffelburg.
Mm-hmm.
On the right wing, which I don't recall him ever being before for us, was amazing.
Yes.
He set up that first goal with a run in behind that ended up getting a PK. He was involved with both the second and third, at least I know. Probably involved in more that I can't even remember because we scored so many goddamn goals. But Shaffelburg on the right side was amazing. I know we had 3 players in that team of the week for MLS. Shaffelburg, for me, belongs in that team, too. I didn't watch any of the other 29 teams in MLS, whatever. Maybe there's other guys, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing too many players had a better game than Jacob Shaffelburg. And when I saw him lighten up that right wing, forcing Greg Berhalter to just throw away his entire left side of his field 35 minutes into the game, I said, oh, hell yeah. Bring me the Maple Leafs. Bring me some syrup. Jacob Shaffelburg. You're my boy. And he did it for Nashville SC Saturday night, and I think he's going to keep doing it for in the future.
Just this alone, that's enough for him to secure that starting spot for a good long while, right? I mean, Kasim is on the bench now. He is benched as far as I'm concerned. We've been complaining about his play, and he's an incredibly talented player, but the effort and the hustle was just kind of questionable. And man, Shaffelburg just burned it up. And, this combination of players, Nahar, Mukhtar, Shaffelburg, Surridge, the hustle that you're getting from Alex Muil.
Yeah.
And then we haven't even talked about the Tag Seth Yazbek combo, which
I fucking amazing too.
Yeah. I mean, so when you throw Shaffelburg into this mix, the speed, the pressure that he puts on that defense is incredible. And I do want to do a quick shout out for Tag Seth and Yazbek. This was an underrated move that probably not a lot of people are talking about or highlighting, because they're going to be talking about Shaft starting. They're going to be talking about Sam Surridge's renaissance and Hani Mukhtar's incredible play. But at the beginning of the season, we were playing Tag Seth and Yazbek as the starting midfielders because Brugman was injured, and they did great. We had some great early success with them. And then Brugman came in and Yazbek went to the bench, and he was still coming in later parts of the game. But it did seem like a little bit of the heat came off of what was happening for Nashville when that change happened. And Brugman, a well-established player, got a lot of experience. He's certainly talented in his own right. He is a little bit more prone to turnovers. He's a little bit slower, methodical player. And then we saw the combination last week of Brugman and Yazbek was the experiment that Callahan rolled out there. That did not work. That was terrible. And we all determined, no, Tag Seth should play every minute of every game from here on out. That combo, Tag Seth, Yazbek, that's the key in the midfield for us. If those two guys are in the center, it's really hard for the other team to get any momentum going the other direction. Those guys turn that ball back. They set up our offense for success. Those are the guys that we need to be solidifying as our starting midfield, with Brugman as a very acceptable substitute. That's my take on it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, like I said the other night, unless our win probability reaches 99.99%, Tag Seth stays in the match.
Yes.
Absolutely. All season long, we've been doing this routine where for each goal that Nashville scores, we'll present one of our favorite things, whether it be in pop culture and life, whatever, and just talk a little bit about each one and highlight a favorite thing. This is because of BJ Callahan at the beginning of the season set the very high bar of wanting the team to score 50 goals in the season. At this point, we are actually on pace for 60 goals after this game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're doing quite well. Never did I ever think when we came up with that concept that we would be having to put together 7 favorite things in one episode. But here we are. And so we're just going to keep going around and around, taking turns. Evan, it's your turn, and you're the lucky guy who's going to get to do 3 of these this episode.
Oh my gosh.
So you're going to have to dig deep. What's your first favorite thing that you'd like to share with listeners?
Okay. Well, thank you. My first favorite thing is my favorite author, Bill Bryson. I love Bill Bryson. I've read all of his books at least once, most of them 2 or 3 times at least. And you may or may not know much about him. He came to fame mostly through travel books, one in particular called A Walk in the Woods, where he talks about walking the Appalachian Trail with a buddy, turned into a movie with, what's the guy's name? You know me.
Classic Evan.
Not Paul Newman. Who's it? Robert Redford. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. The other guy.
Yeah, classic.
Handsome guy.
He's written travel books, history books, other things, but my favorite are his science books. And if I promise to be brief on my other 2 favorite things, will you guys indulge me and let me read a short passage, or not so short passage, from my favorite Bill Bryson book called A Short History of Nearly Everything?
Let it rip, Evan. I gotta have everything.
Here I go. So just to set this up, this is a general knowledge science book. In the introduction, he begins to talk about the improbability of life on Earth, particularly human life. Begins the introduction talking about atoms. I'm not going to read all that, but I am going to pick it up right here, okay? So thank goodness for atoms. But the fact that you have atoms and that they assemble in such a willing manner is only part of what got you here. To be here now, alive in the 21st century and smart enough to know it, you also had to be the beneficiary of an extraordinary string of biological good fortune. Survival on Earth is a surprisingly tricky business. Of the billions and billions of species of living things that have existed since the dawn of time, most, 99.99%, are no longer around. Life on Earth, you see, is not only brief, but dismayingly tenuous. It's a curious feature of our existence that we come from a planet that is very good at promoting life, but even better at extinguishing it. The average species on Earth lasts for only about 4 million years. So if you wish to be around for billions of years, you must be as fickle as the atoms that made you. You must be prepared to change everything about yourself: shape, size, color, species affiliation, everything. And to do so repeatedly. That's much easier said than done, because the process of change is random. To get from protoplasmal, primordial, atomic globule to sentient, upright, modern human has required you to mutate new traits over and over in a precisely timely manner for an exceedingly long while. So at various periods over the last 3.8 billion years, you have abhorred oxygen and then doted on it, grown fins and limbs and jaunty sails, laid eggs, flicked the air with a forked tongue, been sleek, been furry, lived underground, lived in trees, been as big as a deer and as small as a mouse, and a million things more. The tiniest deviation from any of these evolutionary shifts, and you might now be licking algae from cave walls, or lolling walrus-like on some stony shore, or disgorging air through a blowhole in the top of your head before diving 60 feet for a mouthful of delicious sandworms. Not only have you been lucky enough to be attached since time immemorial to a favored evolutionary line, but you have also been extremely, make that miraculously fortunate in your personal ancestry. Consider the fact that for 3.8 billion years, a period of time older than the Earth's mountains and rivers and oceans, every one of your forebears on both sides has been attractive enough to find a mate, healthy enough to reproduce, and sufficiently blessed by fate and circumstances to live long enough to do so. Not one of your pertinent ancestors was squashed, devoured, drowned, starved, stranded, stuck fast, untimely wounded, or otherwise deflected from its life's quest of delivering a tiny charge of genetic material to the right partner at the right moment in order to perpetuate the only possible sequence of hereditary combinations that could result eventually, astoundingly, and all too briefly in you. And that is Bill Bryson, ladies and gentlemen.
That is amazing.
This is a soccer podcast. No, that's fantastic. He is he's got an amazing ability for turn of words and dry humor. It's really fantastic. John, moving on. It's your turn now. Do you have a passage that you'd like to read from your favorite book?
A little bit, kind of. What's weird is that I've got a writer, too, an author.
Okay.
My favorite thing that I'm going to add to the list is John Boyce. John Boyce is a writer / YouTuber who works for SB Nation, the website. He is just an absurdist human being who gets really to the core of why humans like sports is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys experience this or not. I have a lot of friends who like sports like you guys, but I also have a lot of friends who do not get sports in any way whatsoever. And when this comes up in conversation, I'm talking about doing this podcast or going to games or whatever, I always feel like this little bit of some kind of feeling deep inside me that I feel a little bit embarrassed talking about it to friends who don't like sports. Like, I don't know how to explain it, why I like this so much. But John Boyce does a fantastic job of explaining why humans like sports. First of all, go check out any of his YouTube videos. He does YouTube ridiculous deep dives into obscure things. Like, he did an entire documentary series on the Seattle Mariners. Like, why do they exist?
Why is there a documentary about them?
Why is there a Seattle Mariners?
Yeah.
And then there's also a documentary series on the career of former Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Dave Stieb. It's fantastic deep dive. Like, if you like this podcast, if you find out John Boyce, you're probably never going to listen to this podcast again because you're going to be so deep dive into John Boyce. Oh,
gotcha.
For real. My favorite thing that he ever did was I don't know if I call it a book. It's a serialized speculative fiction multimedia narrative that he did in 2017 called 17,776. This piece of fiction that he created is set 15 or 16,000 years in the future. It is a time where all humans have become immortal and infertile. So everybody alive in the year 17,776 has been alive since like the year 2000 or so. All that they have to do is to play games because everything else is boring to them. They've been alive for 15,000 years at this point. And so it's like this deep meditation on why it is that humans play games. And it is incredible. It is so good. It's like if Thomas Pynchon was somehow obsessed with the most obscure NFL stats there ever were, because the subtitle of the series is also called What Football Will Look Like in the Future. And it has to do with a bunch of characters that they have nothing else to do but play games. The only thing that they have to live for really is to play these games. Like, there's a character who decides that he's going to win a football game by taking the ball and hiding in a cave for 10,000 years. John Boyce combines like still images, YouTube clips, pieces of music, you name it. Like, he combines it all into like this free-floating meta-narrative that is incredible.
Wow.
Seriously, if y'all go look up 17,776 tonight, by the end of the week, y'all be thanking me, because it's seriously the best fictional work that I can think of in the last 20 years. I love John Boyce.
Wow, fantastic. That sounds so intriguing. And like you said, any sports fan should really appreciate it. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so I get one now. Favorite thing that I've been knocking around that I've been wanting to talk about for a while is this is Music City, right? And Nashville is well known for country music, for folk music, bluegrass, Americana. But one thing that is not as well represented from Nashville is rock music. But guys, I'm telling you, there is a wealth of history and fantastic local rock music from Nashville. And so one of my favorite things is local Nashville rock.
Yes.
So much so that I've actually created a playlist on Spotify. It's just titled Nashville Local Rock. Go find it if you can. And it's got 16 or 17 hours of Nashville local rock musicians dating back to the 70s to present day. I mean, this is not something that's just got some recency bias, just stuff from my lifetime. I mean, it's going back decades. There has been really cool, fun rock being generated here. Not much has made it to a national stage or to being really popular, but there is some terrific music nonetheless. I had to kick off this playlist with the features.
Yes.
Just one of the most solid pop, rock, punk sort of bands that has ever come out of Nashville. Great songwriting. The Pink Spiders are on there. I don't know if you know them from early 2000s. Again, another like sort of pop punk trio. You know, there's Jeff the Brotherhood. I'm even allowing Murfreesboro bands into this club.
Okay. I was going to say.
Murfreesboro allowed. Bowling Green not allowed. So sorry, Cage the Elephant, you're not in, but Self is in. The Cadies are in.
Yeah.
There's Be Your Own Pet. There's De Novo Doll. Even going back to like the 80s and the early 90s, the 80s, and is Chagall Guevara. And of course, the big one of them all, Jason and the Scorchers, was probably one of the most notorious or one of the most popular ones from Nashville's history. There's Pooh Hole. There's Luna Halo. There's Jet Black Factory. The Dead Deads. I love the Dead Deads, a current band that's just really, all females. They tear it up. I could go on and on, guys. I mean, it's just fantastic.
Love it.
Hank Williams III's heavy metal band, Ass Jack. The Carter administration. Let's see who else. I could just go on for hours and hours. Bear Jr. Remember those guys? And also, as I'm talking about Nashville local rock, I want to talk about some of the great venues locally where I've watched some of these bands.
Yes,
please.
We're kids of the 80s, but we're teenagers of the 90s, right? And so we came up in an era where we went to Lucy's Record Shop on Church Street, and saw some great bands there. What a wonderful like crucible for kids of all ages to be able to go and see rock shows. 328 Performance Hall.
Yes.
Saw some fantastic bands there. Starwood Amphitheater, guys, just legendary. The stories we could tell about Starwood.
That's right.
Especially like in the parking lot of Starwood.
Yes. Yeah. Even more so. Yeah.
And of course, legendary venues like the Exit Inn, and even down on the Rock Block, The End. Let's not forget, they're still standing. Despite all of the change that's happened in Nashville over the decades, The End is still there, waving the flag for good local rock. Springwater is still there too. Anybody can play at Springwater. You don't even have to be good.
You can walk up right now.
So I would encourage anyone who is interested in local rock to explore, do some research, find some of these bands from yesterday or today. Nashville has a wealth of fantastic rock talent that has come up over the years. And I'm sure I've missed a ton of really great ones, but I just really want to give a shout out to the Nashville local rock scene. For as long as I've been around, it has been really important to me, and I think it's been really good. I think it stands up to most other cities of our size, their rock scenes as well. This is Music City, and it's not just about country. There's all sorts of music here in town for whatever your tastes are.
Hey, man, Ryan, love it.
Coming back around, Evan, round 2. Favorite thing.
Okay, well, I promised that these next 2 would be a little briefer, so I'm just going to quickly tell you about my favorite website, guys. My favorite website is progarchives.com. If you don't know what this is the hub for prog music on the internet. It's been around since 2002. It's barely changed since then. And the reason why is because it is perfect. It's what the internet was supposed to be. It has forums, it has guides, and best of all, it has album reviews. Guys, it has thousands and thousands and thousands of album reviews. Symphonic prog, heavy prog, folk prog, everything. Currently, the top rated album on the site, Yes is Close to the Edge, has been rated and or reviewed over 5,000 times just by itself. Guys, if you want to discover brilliant music going all the way back to maybe what they call proto-prog, the Beatles and so forth, check out progarchives.com.
Love it. At first, I thought you were talking about some sort of like Czechoslovakian site. So prog rock's much more palatable. I'm glad to hear that. That sounds incredibly interesting, and it'll be one of the first things I do as soon as we get done recording.
Can I mention that the 3 of us have created a prog rock playlist that is also on Spotify?
That's right.
That's right.
Every single good prog rock song ever made.
Yeah.
I'll be posting that to our links as well.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, John, let's keep this train rolling.
Yeah.
What's your next favorite thing?
I'll go super quick as well. This is an easy one for me, and I can't believe I haven't said it before. Pub trivia. I love pub trivia.
Sure.
We usually record these episodes on Monday nights, and I am usually coming really hot from playing pub trivia because I have a pub trivia team along with my wife, my brother, and my dad. We call ourselves the Nerdy South. We have been playing an actual pub trivia league, believe it or not, for the last 3 months. Every night at the White House Pizza and Pub. And it actually comes to a head next week. We are the number 1 seed going into the finals next weekend. I love pub trivia. I love trivia of all sorts. I love watching Jeopardy. I love all of it. But like pub trivia, you cannot beat it. You're sitting there, you're drinking beer, and I have discovered that the more beer I drink, the more trivia I know. Because I don't know if the alcohol brings forth memories that are locked away in my brain that I don't think about normally. They always told us in school that, alcohol would kill our brain cells. I have the opposite conclusion. I think alcohol makes me smarter, and I think it makes me way better at trivia. I'm really pretty good at it. My last thesis statement, I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit.
Do it.
Because I can do it. Nashville SC has hosted 4 trivia events in its lifetime, and there is one human that has been on the winning team of the first 3 of those events. It's your boy, John.
Oh boy. Johnny boy.
Wow. Represent.
3 times.
That's
the first
sweet.
2 were back when we were in USL. I was on a team with our then USL captain, Michael Reed, my first year. My second year, I was on a team with Taylor Washington, where I formed a friendship, discovered that I absolutely loved the guy and would marry him in a heartbeat if he asked me to. Mm-hmm. And then the third time, I wasn't on a team with any players in the third time because we were in MLS at that point, but I was sitting beside a team full of players, and it's so fun. Nashville SC did one last year, and I don't want to talk about it because I did not do well at all.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't drink enough.
Last year. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drunk enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a theory that they asked the players for topics last year because one of the topics was video games. And I know Taylor Washington is like a really big Twitch streamer, and he's really big into video games. And I don't know butt ass about most video games. I play like FIFA, I play Mario games, and that's it. I don't know anything else about anything else, and I struggled.
So the players rigged it, is what you're saying.
They did. They scammed us. They scammed us hard.
Because you embarrassed them so badly the year before.
Taylor, I hope you're listening because I'm going to get your ass this year.
I love it. Wonderful threat. All right. I guess it's my turn next. Have you ever been listening to an episode of Electric Gold and in the background, very faintly, you maybe hear the sound of bells ringing or jingling? I try to edit it out, but every so often it gets in and I'm not able to edit it out. And it drives me crazy. What it is actually is my dog, Willow, our basset hound, ringing the bells that we hung on the back door. And we taught her from an early age to ring them when she needs to go outside. So she's a really smart dog. It's been something that she learned to do early on. And you may also have heard in the background sometimes her feet tapping across the floor. All of this doesn't happen until I hit record. Like she'll be laying there asleep for 7 hours. And then as soon as I hit record, she gets up and starts moving around and making a bunch of noise. And so you'll hear her feet tapping across the floor, hear her ringing the bells. Willow came to us as a Christmas morning present in 2017. She was a present to my daughter, who was 11 at the time and was just over the moon. And she was just a little puppy then. You could hold her in your hands. Her ears were still as long as ever, just dragging the floor, big old paws. The cutest dog that you have ever seen. And no matter where we take her, it's like riding with a celebrity. People stop us and are like, oh, that is the cutest dog. Whether I'm walking her in the neighborhood or we're going to the vet, going to the dog park, whatever. Willow is the star of the show, no matter what. So when we got her as a present for my daughter, I absolutely expected that they would develop a strong bond. And they have. They've just been two peas in a pod ever since. But what I did not expect was the companionship that I would develop for this dog. I just absolutely love this dog, guys. I mean, it's the best dog that I've ever had in my life. She is the sweetest thing. I mean, when I, work is over for the day and I go and sit down in the living room, she'll come right over and put her head on my lap. Just like, hey, I'm ready to start getting some pets now, or put her foot on my foot, put her paw on my foot. Let me know that she's down there ready for some attention. Bring me her toy to play with, whatever. We've gone on numerous walks together around the neighborhood and whatnot. She's so loving, so sweet. She has never met a person that she wasn't happy to see. She's a horrible guard dog, like just terrible. Like every person she sees, she wants to be friends with. Just so special to me. In the past few months, things started to take a bit of a turn, and we started to see Willow lose her appetite, start to have some accidents indoors, which she never did before, and just not be herself. She didn't have the energy that she used to have, wasn't as playful. And, I chalked it up to maybe she's just getting older. She wasn't that old. She's 7, but I just chalked it up to, she's getting older. She's losing some energy. Same thing's happening to me. But in the last few weeks, it's become evident that she's not okay, that she's been very sick this whole time, and she's really good at hiding it. But now in the last several weeks, it's become evident she was in a lot of pain. She wasn't doing well. And so last week, it was a really, really rough week. And we had a lot of tests run and stuff with the vet, and come to find out that she had cancer and was pretty advanced, especially in her liver. And there just weren't any good options to go forward. So my wife, my daughter, and I sat down as a family to talk about what we wanted to do. And we were just all struggling and so sad every day watching Willow struggle and suffer. And we made the very difficult decision to put her to sleep last week on Thursday. Guys, one of the hardest decisions, no, not one of, it's the hardest decision I ever had to make in my life was to do this to this dog. And I feel a lot of guilt over it and a lot of grief. It was the right thing to do to spare her having to just continue to suffer, and because there wasn't any getting better. But she's absolutely been one of the sorry.
It's okay,
she's
buddy.
been one of my favorite things ever in my life. Just one of the best friends that I ever had.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give a shout out and a final goodbye to my good friend Willow. I'm going to miss her.
Oh my God,
Love
man,
it.
that was beautiful.
It was. You don't realize how much you love pets until you realize it.
Yeah. I mean, there was probably a little bit of taking it for granted and just
You totally do. You totally do.
part of the daily routine, and you don't think about it.
Yeah. I went through a similar thing with a cat last year. And honestly, the hardest part of it by far was my sons.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
they had grown up with the kitty, and boy, you're not prepared for it until it happens. But honestly, they prepare us for these harder things that we're going to have to go through in life. You know, all of us are going to have to deal with this happening to people we love in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, our kids are going to have to deal with it in their future, and it's like they know that it's like they know, and we don't realize that they know. I happen to be a firm believer in reincarnation, and I feel like we'll see each other again. And I don't know if that's true or not, but the feeling of this comforts me.
Yeah, sure.
So that's all you can do is learn from them.
Well, thank you. And sorry to bring the podcast down on such a happy celebration that we're having. Let's get back to talking about some fun stuff. Evan, you've got one more favorite thing in honor of Sam's final goal, his fourth goal of the game. What's your final favorite thing for this epic Nashville SC game?
Okay, well, I will get to that in just a second. But no, you didn't bring it down, buddy. You brought it up.
Thanks. Thank you.
And for what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. I could feel the love that you had for Willow coming through the podcast. So I know you did the right thing, and I appreciate you sharing that. And I hope you and your family can process it and get through it, and then remember everything that was great about Willow going forward.
Appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. So, okay. So my last favorite thing, real quick. I know you guys are shocked that I haven't already listed this one, but it is pickleball. I know it's,
of course.
it's so dumb, but it is so fun. Listen, my good buddy Ben years ago tried to get me to try it, and I just couldn't believe that he was into this. But finally, I had a day off from work. I decided to join him and went to a community center and played with a bunch of retirees and everything. And they whooped my ass. And I have been hooked ever since. It is a surprisingly difficult game. There is tons of strategy, tons of technique. There's this game within the game up at the kitchen line. And it's so fun. It's a great way to get exercise. I play it all the time. I can't believe how much time I've devoted to this game. It's a wonderful community. They say everybody needs a third place, and pickleball is my third place. It is my community. I love the people that I have met. I've made so many good friends. I can't wait to see them, catch up with them. And guys, I've even met someone special playing pickleball. So this is one of my very favorite things. I can't believe how much I like this game, but I really, really, really do.
Fantastic. Yeah. And you've turned us onto it as well. And now we all go and play along with Kat and Liam. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not that great at it, but it's a lot of fun no matter what, just to get together with you guys and break a sweat. And yeah, I mean, bring it on. Let's play again. When are we playing next?
Let's play.
I think let's play this week, right? We better be playing this week.
Let's
We better be.
I need to. Yeah.
All right, guys, we need to keep going. It wouldn't be a complete podcast if we didn't do some Nashville hot chicken takes.
My hot chicken take is that these owners got skills to shake, entertain the crowd and get on the field. 'Cause why the fuck not?
All right, John, letting you go first this time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to process from this past game. What's your hot chicken take?
All right, I'm going to tie it into history. In 1844, there was a phrase in the United States. It said 54-40 or fight. I'm bringing this phrase to Nashville SC, modern day. Shaffelburg on the right or we riot.
Totally.
Jacob Shaffelburg needs to be the starter on the right side of midfield for the rest of the season. He stretches that field so much. He is so fast. I can't believe we hadn't thought of it before. I know previously when we signed him, Gary Smith was still our coach, and our game plan was just cross. And so it makes sense for a primarily left-footed player to be on the left wing if that's your goal. Jacob Shaffelburg is left-footed. He played on the right wing Saturday night, and my God, did he ever look good.
Mm-hmm.
In the modern game of football, that inverted wingers is kind of the style. You know, if you have a left-footed player, you play them now on the right wing, and they cut inside, and that way they become both a goal-scoring threat and like a threat to cross. I'm not saying Jacob Shaffelburg is like a Mo Salah, but it makes sense for a left-footed player to be on that right wing like Mo Salah does. Obviously, I've been high on Ahmed Kassem until recently. I think, actually, Kassem, we need to give him a little bit of time. He is 21 years old, and I think he can be part of a really good and effective bench. Like, I think bringing Ahmed Kassem into a game against tiring legs, I think he could really be effective that way. And I think Shaffelburg needs to be starting, pushing the back line, making them run their ass off because he's so fast. And hopefully we get the team so tired that Kassem can come in later in the game. Because between Shaffelburg and Alex Mewell on the left side, that's a lot of running that's going on up there.
Yeah.
I think just generally that's the best starting lineup we've got is Jacob Shaffelburg on the right side. Alex Mewell, everybody criticizes him, but man, that motherfucker does some running.
Yeah.
Even if he's not doing anything with the ball, just the fact that he is doing as much running as he can, it wears other teams down during the course of a game in ways that you may not notice. And I really think that's our best starting lineup right now. And guys, maybe in a few months, we might have Tyler Boyd coming into this mix as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I forgot about him. Totally.
We might. So I think we have the makings of a pretty good bench, which we need over the course of the season, especially this month of May where we're playing an ass ton of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here in the next few weeks. So yeah, Jacob Shaffelburg, start on the right wing.
I couldn't agree more. And, you're right about let's have some good depth, because I was looking ahead at our schedule. I think after this weekend, we have midweek games and weekend games like the next 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Yep.
It's going to be brutal, and we're going to be seeing a lot of different faces and different combinations of players. So it's going to be a good opportunity for some guys who don't get a lot of burn to strengthen their chops and show us what they got. All right, Evan, what's your hot chicken take for this week?
Yeah, I got it. But quick question. Did Kassem come in for Moyle in that game, or did he come in for Shaffelburg? I can't remember. Did he play on the left when he came in? It seems like I remember him playing over on the left. If you don't know off the top of your head, don't worry about it.
I think on the left. Yeah.
Yeah. My point is, he's still I agree with you, John. Shaft should start on the right, no doubt. But Kassem still has a chance. He still has a chance to earn a starting spot. It's not, he's not relegated to the bench for the rest of the season. Even going back in the Gary era, we tinkered a little bit with Shaft on the right. And, help me out here.
On the right wing?
On the left, who was it? It was Fafa Pico. We experimented with that. So there's some precedent here, and Kassem has still a chance to get in there. So anyway, that was just my question. On to my hot take. Guys, this is not going to be the only game this season that we're going to win by 5 goals.
Wow, that's hot. That's spicy.
Yes, it's spicy, but it is palatable because we have now gotten all these guys playing, gelling, and now seeing what they are capable of doing. And it's just like in a rout like Saturday night, they're not content with 2 goals or 3 goals. It's like the hunger for goals goes up. It keeps going up. Everybody wants in on it. They can smell blood in the water, and they want in on it. We've now set this precedent. Now these guys have shown each other what they are capable of. Hey, guys, this is not the only match this season we're going to win by 5.
Wow, I love it. Yeah, there's no parking the bus with this team, is there? We're not riding that 1-0 lead all the way through the game, or trying to anyway. Nah, that would be unbelievable. And Nashville, I think this might be the most goals we've scored in this last stretch of games. I like in the last 4 or 5 games. I'd have to go back and look, but I know it's certainly one of the most prolific scoring runs that we've been on. Of course, whenever you score 7 goals in a game, that's going to help big time. All right, guys, this has been fun. It's time to move on. We got to wrap things up with a weekend preview. This weekend, the boys in gold will make the short trip down I-24 to visit Atlanta United. Atlanta have struggled to begin this season. They currently sit in 12th place in the East with a record of 2 wins, 5 losses, and 3 draws, and a goal differential of -8. That said, they've definitely played better at home than they have on the road, and forward Emmanuel Latte-Lath has netted 5 goals this season already, so Nashville will have to avoid taking this game for granted or letting their guard down after such an impressive victory last weekend. Atlanta has lost 3 in a row, including 2 3-0 losses to Philadelphia and Orlando. Meanwhile, Nashville is riding high after putting on an offensive performance for the ages and beating Chicago 7-2. I just want to say it one more time.
One more time.
We won 7-2. Amazing. So, guys, as we look ahead to this weekend in Atlanta, it's time for you to break out your crystal balls. All right, Evan, we'll let you go first. What do you see in the crystal ball for Nashville SC this weekend?
Okay, I'm gazing in it and seeing a 2-1 victory for the boys in gold over Atlanta.
Yeah.
Goals by our 10th and 11th scorers of the season, Jack Mayer and Eddie Tagseth.
Whoa.
We are going to keep sharing the wealth. We're going to keep including new guys into the goal contributions, and we're going to come away with all 3 points.
I love that. John, does your crystal ball say anything different?
My crystal ball says something slightly different. It's not 2-1. It's going to be 3-1, buddy. 3-1 Nashville SC. Honey, Sam, and I agree with you. Eddie Tagseth is going to break his duck. He's going to get that goal finally.
Yeah.
He's going to be well on his way to winning MVP. We were so good this week that we haven't really had to talk much about Eddie Tagseth. But oh my Jesus Christ, Eddie Tagseth is so much better than I could have predicted. Anybody could have predicted. He is so good. And Nashville SC is so good. Nashville, listen to me. This team is entertaining and it is good. The Titans are not. The Predators are not. Nashville SC needs to be the team you need to be going to. Saturday nights, we've got 5 home games in May coming up. The team has titled it Mania. Mania
funny.
has got to be what you're looking forward to because, oh my God, we're the best show on earth right now. Honestly, my crystal ball is kind of cloudy because I have no idea what this team is going to do. Sometimes we're not that great, and sometimes we're godly.
Yeah.
But they're so fun to watch. It's incredible. Nashville, this is the best time of your life. Go watch a Nashville SC game on a Saturday night, people.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, they're out of town this weekend. If you can make the trip to Atlanta, please do.
And a lot of people are. I have to say that.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of Nashville people down there. If you go down there, party hard, wear your gold, and show them what's for.
Absolutely. And then after that, team comes back home. We got Open Cup. We've got regular season games. We've got a lot of opportunities for you to see this team in May. So get out to Geodis and really let the team hear the crowd support. We need every person in the stands. We need every seat filled. All right, guys, this has been amazing. It's been so much fun.
I don't want it to end.
Yeah, I don't want it to end. This is a long podcast, but you know what? It's been just so much fun to talk about. Before we get going, John, let people know how they can talk to us. And of course, we want to get their suggestions and their input because we want to talk about it in the podcast.
Boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, we are Electric Gold NSC. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on X, formerly Twitter. Follow us, find us, like us, And most importantly, obviously, other than keep listening, because that's super sweet
Yeah.
in and of itself. But let us know. We love digging into the mailbag and getting your hot takes, your all hell yes, your all hell no's. We've got a few we're kind of building up, and maybe we'll do it in an episode in the next week or two. Yeah, it's amazing. We can't thank you enough. We love you guys.
Absolutely. So don't be shy. Reach out, share your hot takes. As John said, share your input, and we'll happily incorporate it in our next mailbag session on the pod. All right, guys. Well, I'm getting to the end of my beer. It's been a lovely evening of celebration. Thank you guys for joining in on the conversation. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate all the support. And going into next week and for the rest of this season, just keep on supporting the team. Keep on rooting for the boys. You can see what they're capable of now. They need your support, so keep on doing it. Keep on cheering them on, and keep on saying it. Come on, you boys and go.
Come on, you boys and go.
Come on, you boys, and go!
Dreams on Friday nights, electric vibes and stories told. Come on, you boys and go. Waves of laughter in the air, podcast pals without a care, sharing glorious thoughts out loud. Come on, you boys and go. Waves of laughter in the air, podcast pals without a care, sharing glorious thoughts out loud. Come on, you boys and go. Electric.
Okay, time out. So we're making the trip to Atlanta this weekend, the city where the traffic never moves, but the ego does. Atlanta, you've been burned down once. We're going to do it again. We're going to cook you hotter than a Waffle House grill at 3 a.m. It's called Hotlanta because after 5 minutes in the summer, you smell like a wet gym sock and bad decisions. Everyone in Atlanta is either an aspiring rapper, an aspiring real estate agent, or both. The city motto should just be coming soon, another luxury apartment you can't afford. Atlanta has more abandoned strip malls than New Orleans has beads after Mardi Gras. The Atlanta traffic isn't a commute, it's a lifestyle. You can leave for work at 7 a.m. and still be late for your 2 p.m. meeting. Every address in Atlanta is either on Peachtree, near Peachtree, or nowhere even close to Peachtree, despite what your GPS says. Driving in Atlanta is basically Mario Kart with more road rage and fewer banana peels. Your city has more lanes than people who know how to use a turn signal. Everyone in Atlanta claims to know someone famous, but it's just their cousin's weed guy's barber's girlfriend. Half of Atlanta is in the studio, and the other half is pretending to be on the way to the studio. Well, listen, Atlanta, huge city, crappy airport. We're coming for you. We're going to take you down. We got something special for you. It sounds like this.
I remember when you lost your mind. You thought you were gonna beat us at your place. What a total disgrace. And when you're out there without care, yeah, you're out of touch. I'm telling you, you don't know enough. Nashville SC is tough. You must be crazy. Atlanta, you're crazy. You must be crazy to think victory. The boys in gold are winning, and we're having time of our lives, so think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. Atlanta, you're crazy. It's gonna be NSC. Have the heart to score goals and get the win. Yeah, we know your players wanna be like them. Ever since we came into the league, we've been having fun. And it's no coincidence we've won and won. We're gonna be champs when the season is done. You must be crazy. Atlanta, you're crazy. You must be crazy to think victory. I remember when you lost your mind. You thought you were gonna beat us at your place. What a total disgrace. And when you're out there without care, yeah, you're out of touch. I'm telling you, you don't know enough. Nashville SC is tough. I think you're crazy. Hilary, you're crazy. To think victory, you must be crazy. Hilary, you're crazy. You must be crazy. It's gonna be an SC